Hey there besties! Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're continuing our recap of the manhwa, The Heat of the Reincarnated Villainess. If you're new to this series, check the description below for links to previous episodes. Lastly, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you enjoy the video. It really helps our channel grow. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get started.
Prince Theodore looked at Rose, his gaze soft as he held her flushed face between his hands. "You don't like it? Being touched by me?" he asked, voice low but teasing. Rose's cheeks turned even redder. "Well," she started, only for him to cut her off gently. "If you don't dislike it," he said with a small smile, "then I want to touch you." "But, Prince Theo, we were planning to cancel our engagement," Rose said, her voice shaky. "Are you misunderstanding me again?" Theodore asked with a smirk. "This was my idea to stop you from weakening like before. To keep your urges in check while you're off the suppressants, I thought some light contact every day might help." He let her face go as he spoke, but Rose was too flustered to meet his eyes. "So I got it all wrong," she murmured. "What's this? Even your ears are red," Theo teased, lifting her chin gently. "Did you catch a fever again?" "No. It's been a while since I've had this kind of contact. I feel hot, that's all," she said quickly. He let go and laughed quietly, amused by her reaction. He says things like that even though he knows exactly what he's doing, Rose thought, stealing a glance at him. He's such a tease. Inside the house, the two sat down for tea. Clearing his throat, Theodore shifted the conversation. "Let's get to the point. I came today to talk about the match between you and Miss Iris." Rose exhaled softly. "I'm sorry it took so long. My butler was worried, so he barely let me leave the mansion." "I figured that was the case," Theo replied. "I feel a lot better now. I'm going to the academy tomorrow, even if I have to sneak out," she said, a little spark returning to her voice. "All right. I'll inform Miss Iris." His expression turned more serious. "Also, are you planning to help her win?" Rose tilted her head, confused. "You're skilled in so many areas, dance, art, etiquette. It's hard to believe she can outdo you." "Well, her starting stats are kind of catastrophic," Rose admitted. "How about we say she wins in cuteness?" Theo raised a brow. "You want to stake our engagement on that?" Then maybe her personality? Or bravery?" "Those are hard to grade," he replied, sipping his tea with a dry smile. Rose leaned forward, suddenly grinning. "All right. Then what if I'm about to win, I'll make it look like I cheated and get disqualified." Theodore's eyes widened. "But your reputation?" "That'll be our last resort," Rose interrupted. "I'll make sure I lose without raising suspicion. Trust me." "That's not the issue," he said, stunned. "You really want her to win?" "You think I hate her," Rose said, narrowing her eyes. "But the truth is, you care about her," he said quietly. Rose stared at him, caught off guard. "What are you talking about?" The next day at the academy. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Iris repeated the steps with effort as her coach guided her. Rose descended the stairs and spotted them in the practice hall. "Try straightening your back a bit more," Rose said calmly, approaching the pair. "Miss Rose." Iris turned quickly, concerned. "Are you all right? Have you fully recovered?" "No need to force yourself," Rose replied with a warm smile. She glanced at Iris's bandaged leg. "You're the one who looks injured." "Oh, these," Iris said lightly. "I knew I had to give it my all if I was going to face someone as skilled as you." "She's not weak, not anymore," Rose thought. "She's worked hard to catch up." "Miss Rose?" Iris asked again, sensing her silence. "It's nothing," Rose said, brushing off the thought. "Just promise to keep me on my toes, okay?" she added, flashing a wink. "Because I'm going to work hard enough to crush you." "I'll do my best," Iris replied with determination. This should go perfectly, Rose hoped silently. Later, in the hallway, as Rose walked alone, she suddenly bumped into Olivier. "Miss Rose," he said, his expression darkening. "Olivier," she blinked. "Is something wrong?" He looked serious as he stepped closer. "I didn't expect this from you, this match with Miss Iris. Are you really planning to lose on purpose?" Her heart stopped. How did he find out? Could I speak with you for a moment? Olivier asked, his tone firm. In the quiet corner of the library, Olivier led Rose to a secluded spot, his expression unreadable. You told me before, he began, watching her carefully, that Prince Theodore was warming up to Miss Iris. That's why you said you were stepping back. Rose nodded with a sigh. Yes. I believe Prince Theo and Iris are better suited for each other. That's why I said I was withdrawing. Olivier's gaze sharpened. Then why the public battle? If you've already decided to back off, what's the point in challenging Miss Iris? Rose didn't answer immediately. You're trying to let her win, aren't you? Olivier asked directly. You're staging a match to give her the upper hand. Rose met his eyes, cheeks faintly flushed. As sharp as always, Olivier. So what if I am? She admitted. I've grown fond of Iris. Olivier's voice turned firm. You're a noblewoman of House Charlia. You've worked too hard, endured too much, to throw a match like this. You train day after day to meet the expectations placed on you. Rose's thoughts drifted to her childhood, days filled with pressure and pain. She remembered the sting of a cane striking her hand after a missed piano note. You played the phrase wrong again, her instructor would scold. I'm sorry, a young Rose had whispered, tears in her eyes. She had spent hours memoizing poetry, struggling through complex etiquette lessons, driven by the fear of failure. Don't you know who I am? There's nothing Lady Rose can't do, she had once declared through tears. Back in the present, Rose's face reddened at the memory. This isn't even my real life. These are the game's flashbacks, she reminded herself. Still, it hurts just remembering. Olivier continued gently. And now you're prepared to throw all of that away? Even Prince Theo said it, dragging your name through the mud for this isn't worthy of you. Rose drew in a deep breath. Everything you said is true, Olivier. But even so, I've made up my mind. I must end this engagement with Prince Theo, no matter what it takes. Olivier stared at her for a long moment before exhaling. So you've really decided? His voice was quiet. Then there's nothing more I can say. In return, Rose added softly, please allow me to be present at the battle. Olivier's expression eased. A butler's duty includes offering a shoulder during difficult times, he said with a respectful bow. Olivier, Rose's voice trembled with emotion. Well then, just know that I worry for you, my lady, he said, folding his arms gently across his chest. You're just too protective, Rose replied with a faint smile, leaning slightly against his shoulder. Olivier nodded. Your class begins soon. I'll be off, she said lightly, then dashed out of the mansion. At the academy, news of the upcoming battle had already spread. They say Prince Theo is going to announce the challenge today, students whispered excitedly. It's finally happening. Who do you think will win? I'm supporting Miss Iris. But Miss Rose is clearly the stronger candidate. From where she stood, Rose heard the murmurs and kept her expression still, though her heart grew heavier. Then, a hush swept the hall as Prince Theodore arrived. The postponed match between Miss Rose and Miss Iris will begin in 3 days, he announced. The contest will cover the 7 classical subjects: grammar, rhetoric, dialectics, music, arithmetic, geometry, and astronomy, as well as painting and cooking. Everything from academics to the arts, someone murmured. Then Iris has a chance now, whispered another. Rose and Iris faced each other. Prince Theo turned to them. Miss Rose, Miss Iris, do either of you have any objections? No, Iris replied quickly. You can challenge me in anything. I'll be ready. Rose smirked. Then get ready to lose. Iris stepped forward and offered her hand. Let's have a fair match, Miss Rose. But Rose slapped her hand away. Don't act friendly with me. I arranged this match to defeat you, completely. Gasps rippled through the crowd. How rude, someone whispered. She's going to look like a fool if she loses after saying that. That proud look on her face, wouldn't it be satisfying to see her humbled? Olivier, standing at the edge of the crowd, said nothing. He simply watched. 3 days later, the grand hall was prepared. The long-awaited match between Miss Rose and Miss Iris was about to begin. Silence settled over the grand hall as the long-awaited test between Miss Rose and Miss Iris was about to begin. Prince Theodore stood before the students, his voice ringing out clearly. The match between Miss Rose and Miss Iris begins now. You will have 1 hour per subject. You may use the library resources to assist you. Now, begin. Iris stared nervously at the paper in front of her. What should I do? Anxiety swirled in her chest. From across the room, Rose glanced at her coolly. I know Iris's knowledge has improved, but even now, it's probably only half as strong as mine. She hesitated. Should I intentionally miss half the questions? No, that would look suspicious. She began to answer carefully, selecting incorrect answers here and there. Students nearby whispered. Miss Rose looks stuck. Are the questions really that hard? Rose smirked inwardly. Perfect. Let them doubt me just a little. The first hour passed, and the scores were posted for all to see. Rose studied the results, her mood lifting. Yes. My total score is just below Iris's. It's working. Whispers rippled through the students. Look, Miss Rose's score in humanities is terrible. She's bad at that subject? Really? Hearing them, Rose clenched her jaw. They are starting to doubt me for real. I need to play this just right. She stepped forward dramatically. Prince Theo. Something's not right with my score. She declared loudly. I'm certain my answers were correct. Theo looked taken aback. Very well, he said. Let's review one of the questions. He cleared his throat. The essay question was, what should be done about poor citizens who can't afford bread? Miss Iris, your response. Iris stepped forward, her voice steady. I wrote that while the church distributes bread to the poor, that alone isn't enough. We should support long-term solutions like job training and access to tools so they can become self-reliant. Murmurs of approval spread through the crowd. She's right. That's a very thoughtful answer. I didn't know the church was doing all that. Prince Theo nodded. Thank you, Miss Iris. He turned to Rose. Your response. Rose smiled sweetly. If they can't eat bread, let them eat macarons. Gasps filled the room. What? Is she serious? Prince Theo coughed awkwardly. We're not here to debate her intentions, but points were deducted for being overly one-sided. Exactly as planned, Rose thought, hiding her smile. Out loud, she snapped. One-sided? That's absurd. Everyone should just accept my answer. Students stared in disbelief. Even Olivier raised a brow but remained silent. That doesn't sound like the Rose I know, Prince Theo thought. She's usually more thoughtful. The tension eased slightly as the second round began. Cooking. Rose appeared relaxed. Our writing scores are close. Iris, it's your time to shine now. Do your best. The next challenge, Prince Theo announced, is to prepare a dessert suitable for a tea party. Begin. What are you making? Rose asked, casually. I'm making Florentines, Iris replied, determination in her voice. Rose smirked. Tea cakes are simple. I'll make something worse than hers on purpose, she thought with a laugh. But Iris soon hit a snag. Cutting these almonds is harder than I thought, she muttered, struggling with the knife. Rose's eyes widened. You're going to cut yourself. Give me that. With practiced skill, Rose took the knife. If you warm the almonds a bit, they are easier to slice. Like this. Iris blinked. Oh, thank you. A student whispered. Why's Miss Rose helping her? To show the difference in our skills, Rose said, glaring. Any problem with that? Time passed. Iris finally stepped back. I'm done. Rose nodded at the result. They actually look good. Miss Iris is going to win this. Someone cheered. I'm done as well, Rose announced calmly. She's doing well. Just like a proper heroine should. Prince Theo stepped forward. Let's try Miss Iris's Florentines first. Rose took a bite, and immediately tensed. It's really salty. Gasp spread again. Miss Iris, did you mix up the sugar and salt? Prince Theo asked gently. I'm so sorry. Iris stammered, her face flushed with embarrassment. Rose chuckled softly. Just like a true heroine, stumbling at the wrong moment. Next, the judge tasted Rose's dessert. These are, actually quite good. They taste even better after Iris's disaster, someone whispered. Crap, Rose thought. This wasn't supposed to happen. Her legs began to wobble slightly. Miss Rose, are you okay? Prince Theo asked, stepping closer. I'm fine. It might be a side effect of a suppressant, she whispered, pale. The students looked on, concerned. Prince Theo's gaze narrowed. I noticed earlier. You cut your finger with the knife, didn't you? Before she could respond, he gently took her hand and kissed the tip of her finger. Gasps echoed through the hall. Rose's eyes widened, her face flushed. What is he doing? Does he want me to play along? But, what should I do? From the sidelines, Olivier watched in silence, unreadable. Let's get that cleaned up at the infirmary, Prince Theo said, his voice calm. Oh. Yeah, that's a good idea, Rose stammered, her face warming. I'll go with her, he added firmly. Everyone else, take a break. The group began to disperse, but quiet whispers lingered. Wait, Prince Theo and Miss Rose? What's going on? As they walked down the corridor, Theo glanced over. Let's go somewhere quieter. How about the auditorium? Rose nodded. All right. Before she could react, he picked her up in his arms. Prince Theo, she gasped, cheeks flushing. We have to touch again, don't we? He said softly, almost reading her thoughts. Just relax. It'll only be for a bit. Her heart skipped. It's not that I don't want to. But why is he so close? His tone shifted, more serious now. Miss Rose, he said, looking into her eyes. You're pushing yourself too hard. She held her breath. This challenge, you're overextending yourself just to help Miss Iris win. Even pretending to be less capable than you are. Rose froze. Was it that obvious? Her thoughts scrambled. I remember what you said, Theo continued. You needed my cooperation. I agreed. But seeing you like this. I'm sorry, she murmured, gripping his jacket as he sat down with her still in his arms. You don't need to apologize, he said gently. Just know that I'm here. For a moment, Rose couldn't look away. Prince Theo, she whispered, eyes closing as she leaned forward. But just then, knock knock. Miss. So this is where you went, came Olivier's calm voice as he stepped into the auditorium. Rose jerked upright. Olivier? Prince Theo looked startled. We weren't at the infirmary, Olivier said flatly. But I won't ask what you were doing. Just, don't return without a bandage. He held one out and carefully wrapped her finger. Thank you, Rose murmured. We should head back. Iris is waiting, she added, cheeks still red. Olivier turned to Prince Theo, their eyes meeting in silent tension. Didn't he just say he wouldn't ask? Theo thought. I just brought her here. She wasn't feeling well. Olivier responded coolly, No need to worry, Your Highness. Theo frowned. Excuse me. Miss Rose is a noble of House Charlia, Olivier said, his tone measured. She's never backed down from hardship. She's not someone who needs protecting. Prince Theo's eyes widened slightly. Of course, he muttered, stepping past them. My apologies. Rose watched him leave, something unsettled in her chest. Prince Theo. The rest of the challenges flew by. What started as a fierce rivalry had now reached its final act, a singing contest. The audience murmured in anticipation. Miss Iris sings better than I thought. Her voice is sweet, really calming. Backstage, Rose stood quietly, biting her lip. Just in case. I'll miss a note. That should seal the outcome. From the stage, Iris smiled brightly. Miss Rose. It's your turn. The crowd cheered. I've been waiting to hear her sing in person, someone said excitedly. Rose exhaled slowly. This is it. I've given everything, my strength, my pride, and now, my voice. At the very end, I want to live up to her expectations. You've got nerve, Rose muttered aloud. You'll faint when you hear how much better I am. Iris simply smiled. Heh. I'm looking forward to it. Prince Theo called out. Miss Rose, are you ready? Rose nodded. Yes, whenever you are. The first note echoed through the hall. Then another. The audience held its breath. I thought Iris was good, someone whispered, but Miss Rose, she's on another level. Shush. Just listen. Near the front, Olivier closed his eyes slightly, smiling. She's singing from her heart. As the final note faded, thunderous applause erupted. Rose turned, eyes seeking Prince Theo. He was focused on the score sheet, unreadable. Prince Theo, what are you thinking? From his spot, Olivier pushed his glasses up, watching quietly. Say what you really feel, Your Highness. Theo finally looked up and stepped forward. All scores have now been tallied, he announced. It's time to reveal the results. The crowd leaned in, the hall still with anticipation. The winner is Miss Iris, Prince Theo announced. A wave of applause broke out, followed by soft gasps of surprise. Prince Theo stepped forward, taking Iris's hands gently. As students of the prestigious Chartreux Academy, both of you have shown us what it means to grow, learn, and persevere. Thank you for such a remarkable display of talent and determination. Iris's cheeks flushed. Prince Theo, you've praised me far too much. He smiled. Your creativity really stood out, especially during the art challenges. And though your baking was, let's say, bold, those Florentines certainly left an impression. Iris laughed, scratching her cheek. Next time, I'll try making them with the right ingredients. I think everyone here would love that, she added, turning to the crowd. I'll make another batch for you all. As laughter and cheers echoed through the hall, Prince Theo looked around, then paused. Miss Rose, he murmured, realizing she was gone. Outside, Rose walked quietly, her steps unhurried but heavy with emotion. The villainess should always leave quietly, she murmured. It's better this way. Behind her, Olivier caught up. Miss, are you leaving already? He asked. Yes, today's been exhausting, she replied, not meeting his eyes. Then please use the carriage. It's ready. She finally looked at him, a faint smile tugging at her lips. Olivier. He returned her gaze with gentle calm. Of course. Thank you, she whispered. Olivier's voice softened. I knew you didn't take this lightly. That understanding helped me support you. He adjusted his glasses. Still, it seems someone else is beginning to have quite the effect on you. Rose stiffened. The prince? Lately, the distance between you two has grown smaller, he added. Don't say things like that, she snapped, flustered. Just get the carriage, all right. Olivier bowed slightly. Yes, miss. As she climbed in, she glanced back. It's true, Prince Theo, we've spent so much time together lately. Her fingers curled into her skirt. But if this follows the bad ending, our marriage ends in tragedy. That night, Rose sat alone in her study, books open but untouched. Her mind kept drifting. I got the result I wanted. Iris won. So why does it feel so heavy? She recalled the image of Prince Theo holding Iris's hand. Her heart ached. A knock broke her thoughts. Olivier, I said I don't want any tea. It's me. Her eyes widened. That voice. Prince Theo. She stood quickly as he entered. He looked calm, though something about him felt different tonight, more serious. Sorry for the surprise, he said. Your butler let me in. I needed to talk to you about earlier. Rose stayed quiet, unsure. He stepped closer. The truth is, I believe you were the real winner. She blinked, especially during the final round. Your singing, it was unforgettable. Rose's cheeks colored, but she kept her composure. But this was the outcome I chose. There's no need to feel guilty. He hesitated, then smiled faintly. Still, will you hear a request from me? She raised a brow. I want to hear you sing again. Just for me. No piano, no audience, just your voice. There was a beat of silence. Then, softly, she nodded. All right. I'll do it, for you. She began to sing. The quiet room became her stage, the prince her only listener. Her voice was calm, steady, filled with something deeper than technique. Maybe he'll understand, she thought. Like a letter with no name or address, sent all the same. Suddenly, he hugged her from behind. She gasped, startled. Prince Theo. His voice was low. I wish you weren't the one for me. She turned slightly, unsure. Prince. He exhaled. Seems the suppressant isn't working so well tonight. Then, as suddenly as he came, he released her and stepped back. I should leave, before anything happens. Without another word, he exited the room. Outside, under the pale moonlight, Prince Theo stood alone. I wonder why I never noticed it before, he murmured. What I truly feel about her. Inside, Rose sat motionless, cheeks still flushed. So this is love, she thought quietly.
Thank you for joining us on this incredible adventure. If you enjoyed what you watched, please consider liking, subscribing, and ringing that notification bell. Your comments mean the world to us and help us improve. The next episode promises even more excitement and unexpected twists, so stay tuned as we embark on this thrilling journey together. Keep the anticipation alive, and we'll catch you in the next episode.